I genuinely don't understand why normal people are still talking about Candace Owens. She's not a thinker. She's not a commentator. She's made a career, a huge, massive, lucrative career out of saying outrageous garbage for clicks. Her obsession with Jews is pathological. It's not political. So, like, reasoning with Candace Owens is like, debating with a flat earther or arguing with a guy on the subway shouting about lizard people. But she has a massive following and very loyal people who believe every word she says. So this is for those that I hope can be convinced she's not a legitimate thinker. She belongs in the fringe corner of the internet where washed up grifters yell into the void. So let's stop pretending. Let's stop pretending she's part of legitimate dialogue. She's not. She's just noise to a very large audience, and noise that is hateful, ignorant, and completely irrelevant to serious discourse about very serious matters that have serious impact. And because the rabbit holes that Candace Owens goes down the connections she makes, all these obscure connections, most obscure and random sites from the bowels of the internet, the names she drops, it's all of it designed really to overwhelm her audience so that they are convinced she's made important discoveries and connections and revelations, when in reality she's simply cherry picking information that serves to validate her anti-Israel narrative. So let's talk about Candace Owens' latest remarks regarding Israel and the Jews. The first thing she said was she called Harvard University a Mossad base. There's no basis. This has no basis in truth. Just whatever she feels is true. She says it, and she says it with the utmost conviction, like calling Harvard University a Mossad base. This is obviously not true, never been proven, and there's no evidence behind this. Number two, said that Elie Wiesel was never in Auschwitz. This is disgusting, and this is where Candace Owens went full-blown Holocaust denial, disgustingly claiming the American curriculum on the Holocaust was Israeli propaganda. Owens repeats these baseless lies about Holocaust survivor and author Elie Wiesel, claiming he's cousins with Ghislaine Maxwell's father, of which there is, again, zero evidence. She's saying they all work for Israel and use the Maxwell's media empire to propagandize American children into believing the Holocaust. She bases all of her evidence on the account of Miklos Gruner, a man who lost every court case and lies were thoroughly debunked. But to Candace Owens, none of that matters. It fits her narrative. She made the connections even in the most obscure, lacking evidence type of way. None of that matters because she'll happily attack a Holocaust survivor to serve her massive conspiracy that Israel controls the world. Third, she argued that the Star of David is a reference to an opulent sex magic, again, not based in reality, not based in truth. And of course, her big claim, her big conspiracy that she wants everyone to believe is that she proclaimed that the state of Israel is the master of the universe. Again, this just can't be true. It's just not accurate, whatever. But what bothers me about Candace Owens the most is not her obsession of Jews or anti-Semitism. It's just the absolute confidence of her own sheer stupidity. Candace is not a thinker. She is the lowest common denominator's image of a thinker with an absolutely massive audience that thinks she's like some sort of genius. She's so intellectually challenged, she actually believes her conspiracies are worthy of discourse, discussion, and to be heard and to be believed no matter what. Like, in short, she's just a pure and utter idiot, unworthy of engagement. And then you might be thinking, why am I engaging with her right now? Because maybe there are some people who don't believe every word she says, and I can share this information so they can have some discernment when hearing the conspiracies and the lies and the lack of evidence that she says with her stuff. They can hear her confidence, sure, but they know behind it there's no basis of evidence. She's just connecting the most obscure points, cherry picking it to fit her little box narrative. Because the problem is that Candace Owens isn't an outlier right now. She's the poster child for the movement that repackages ancient anti-Semitism as anti-elite rebellion, right? That's what it is, anti-elite rebellion. You think it's just her? Scroll through any of her videos and look at the replies. Look at how many people agree with this utter nonsense that she's spewing. You'll find thousands cheering on the idea that Israel controls Harvard and Auschwitz was a hoax and the Star of David channels opulent sex magic. This isn't free thinking. It's a cult of unthinking. And they're not embarrassed anymore. They're emboldened because in 2025, Jew hate gets you clicks, speaking gigs, and Tucker Carlson interviews. So we have to have discernment and a level of care about what we see, what we watch, and how we approach these types of people on the internet because they're everywhere. Again, because in 2025, Jew hate gets you clicks, speaking gigs, and Tucker Carlson interviews because these people are not embarrassed anymore. They're emboldened because they have a poster child and a leader like Candace Owens who spews out baseless nonsense to fit this conspiracy theory that she thinks that Israel is the master of the universe. And so I just wanted to share that information so in hopes that if you watched it, you have your own discernment and can make some decisions based on some of the things that you watch, read, and understand. And I appreciate you for your time and attention, and I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Cheers.